commentary. He is also working as our producer. So here we are now loaded on board with Noctis from Old Guys as he's up at Pyramid grabbing the snipe, going to the no-scopes on Aesthetic Broad. Only gets the trade after missing 3 shots, but 3 down temporarily for Flippers down. Crozen the last alive, doing his level best stay alive at snipe.
Yeah, certainly unfortunate for Pogo having to I think it was Pogo having to get the sniper and then immediately missing 3 shots in successive order. You know, just shoot, shoot, shoot. But both teams just setting up right now, just trying their best to, get a good position so they can start making the move. As Noctis, the last one remaining on Old Guys, having to hold back, Cruising, taking him down and rushing right for the flag.
I appreciate Crozen staying alive with that sniper rifle, getting away into Old Guys' base. Yes, he goes down there. Kind of wish the Flippers Down Flag Runner had done a little bit of a faster run. He could have maybe gone a little farther. Pogo, though, continuing the run across bottom middle. We'll say with Origin, I kind of prefer always taking it through snipe. There's a little more cover to work with, but he's got Crusade Judge there to pick up flag after he goes down, and Flippers down on the board within the first couple of minutes here.
Yeah, really, really early aggression, being able to win their firefights, and being able to control the power weapons. In my time, in a casting capacity, I always talk about the power weapons because they're just so game-changing, and it just, it seems like Old Guys are getting pushed into a corner right now. There's not really much they can do at the moment.
Yeah. That's exactly where you want the other team for Origin. You want them kind of off balance, trapped in the back of their base, trapped in their back base, trapped in their cave. You don't want them being able to get out and potentially get, say, over to your cave, up into rockets, and get any kind of control back using some power weapons. Speaking of, I believe rockets are coming up fairly soon here. Yeah, within the next 10 seconds here, Remix for Old Guys up atop rockets, taken out by the Caster's Curse, but Noctis and Jay Rizzle right behind him. They're hunting down a couple of players from Flippers Down who were at their elbow. Takes down Aesthetic Broad. Does not get the double on Crozen. Crozen gets a double. Goes down. 3 dead for Flippers Down, 2 for Old Guys. Warted is now running the flag. I love that gamer tag. Everybody keeps going bottom middle with this, but it's working out for Warted. He ran it at the right time. Goes down, but he's got the flag all the way back to his base. Let's see if Aesthetic Broad, though, can get the return as he gets hunted down.
Oh, he doesn't. But Crozen with the grab. Oh, and the back smack. And I think unless Flippers Down is able to quickly grab a good grenade, that it will be Jay Rizzo with the score. I mean, certainly an interesting play. I mean, they were able to win their firefights and hold off just long enough for the tie.
It was definitely a close thing for Old Guys. The thing that would have nailed it for Flippers Down there was after Aesthetic Broad had killed the flag runner, if instead of just trying to return it, he had instead baited the flag and gotten the rest of his team over there to fight that. Just by sitting on that flag return, you're kind of locking yourself into that one location. The rest of Old Guys is all spawning. You're alone over there for the moment, and as long as you're returning that flag, they know your general location.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, because yes, you want to get the flag back as quick as possible, but simultaneously, you are not being able to get the kills as easily, and you're isolated. Now we start to see Old Guys revving up the old engines right now, trying to certainly get the flag moving once again. Remy starting to quickly move in, desperate for support right now as he gets shot in the back, running in. 2 players from Flippers Down rushing into the base, but immediately shut down. And now it's just a rush to get the flag in. Noctis with the score.
Yeah, I think that was a big miss from Flippers Down. Maybe I missed something, but I'm kind of wondering why they weren't able to get a flagpole out of that from the 2 players who pushed in through Rocket side. But hey, 2 down now for Old Guys. This is Flippers Down opportunity. They're not really in a position to get a flagpole just yet, but they can work on trapping excuse me, goodness, old guys into their base. Rockets just came up as well. Frozen doing his level best to stay alive at his maze. He's actually out of bandit ammo. He's been shooting quite a lot. Let's see.
Just gotta spray, just keep going. You gotta win your firefights, and it's just been a back and forth aesthetic brawl with the Rockets, but both out at the moment with just one kill to be afforded with it. So, you know, you want to find a little bit more utility into it as Warded pinned into the corner and just taken down. Pogo getting double teamed. It's just a back and forth. I think, personally, Flippers Down is going a little bit too fast right now. They want to be able to get another score. Got to calm down. Get a little bit more of your slays. It's how old guys, I think, have been able to win it, is just not the volume of kills, but the quality of them has been a significant factor in how they've been able to score two flags now.
Yeah, that is definitely part of it. They are very slightly outslaying Flippers Down. Not by a whole lot, but by just a little bit, and that sometimes is a little bit of edge that you need. I would say, I would mirror your advice with Flippers Down. Just, hey, I know you want, as Wartip picks up a triple kill. He sees the overkill in front of him, but decides to go for the flag instead. Kind of wish he had challenged for the overkill, but that's just me.
I don't think that would have been possible. He was already absolute. Trying to go against...
No guts, no glory.
True. You need to have a little bit of guts in this game to be able to win. Finally, we start to see a firm control from Flippers Down as they are holding the position as hard as they can, grabbing the flag back. And now there's a potential for a pull if Warded can't get the kill on Crusader, and he does. But still, you know, just having to wait, spend extra time, holding back, and praying no one pushes him in.
For Flippers Down here, the one I was trying to get to a little earlier, where we saw that nice triple kill. Flippers Down, they have time. There's 4 minutes, 40 seconds of counting on the clock. You know, they are down a cap, but there is plenty of time. It's not like they're down 2-0 as, wow, Warted is just showing off right now. Nice thrust right there, but Flippers Down, if I'm them, if I was the fly on their walls, I would say, hey, take it easy. Get map control back first. Don't worry about forcing a pull right now. You have plenty of time to do that, tie up the game, and then get a final flag. And yes, the fly on the wall strat is working, because here they are. They're taking it slow. They're not going to force a flag cap. They got 2 down now for old guys that I brought using the rockets. Picks up another bandit kill. Working with a Crusader Judge to pick up a 3rd one on old guys' flag. Frozen picking up Warted as well. Now the flag is on the way in the hands of, I believe, Pogo? Or I'm sorry, it was Crusader Judge, and he just went down. So the flag now down at bottom snipe. And again, will say I'm a little perturbed about the running the flag bottom middle like that. It's fast, I'll grant you, but I don't like it simply because there's not a lot of cover to work with.
I guess,
especially if you're trying to get the flag pulled out when there's multiple alive for the other team. Take the route that offers you a little bit more cover, that makes the other team have to go out of position to get an angle on it.
I certainly could agree with you. It's an interesting move. Maybe it's just because, you know, it's the fastest way and they're trying to go speed over, over what the normal efficiency would be. You know, just trying to make sure, you know, you get the flag and everything just in your base so that your team can go slay and then jump back in. I mean, it could also just be, you know, you want to get the slays, you're focused on the teammates getting the right kill, and it's just not coming out for either team at the moment. I love Aesthetic Bruh's skin. I didn't realize it was banana. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
And wow, old guys, while we were yapping away, they did not hold on to that flag. So a crucial misplay there. Lets the flag return, lets Flippers Down tie it up. So now we are committed. We're going to 3 caps no matter what we do here. And Crozen says, hey, I want cap number 3. Well, maybe not right now, but maybe 5 minutes from now. And somewhere my dad's eye is twitching because that was the thing he would always say to me. Not right now, not 5 minutes from now.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, screaming in the mic, no, stop taking the flag, go get a kill. and then just getting a little bit too ahead. Aesthetic Bra just absolutely loving the rockets right now. He's had it every single time they popped up, and the miss on the rocket shot, but the melee on
He's got the
Remy.
hands at least.
Yeah, he's just like, okay, the rocket won't work. Let me just use my my elbow real quick on you.
Yeah, the people's elbow coming in. I don't quite agree with the flagpole, but 2 down. Flag has just gone back. I would kind of understand if it maybe been like too fresh, but it wasn't like that. I don't know. I would be a little more cautious if I'm either team in pulling the flag. Just this is gonna go to sudden death most likely. So I would say take the time, get the one flagpole, don't get averaged and let your flag get taken by the other team because you're being overly aggressive.
Certainly, I mean, just Crozen in the back, getting assist on 1 kill and getting another kill, starting to slowly push in to Old Guy's base, and it just seems that Old Guys just have nowhere to go. They're being relatively penned in, and their advancing positions are kind of just held. Certainly a little bit better comms coming out from Flippers Down at the moment, but not a very good flank though. Fortunately, just got shot in the side.
I'm wondering if either one of these teams is going to be... Oh, there we go. Here comes Flippers Down with the full court press into Old Guys' base. And an interesting run now. We're going down through bottom rockets. And there's Remix sitting bottom middle for... I'm not quite sure what he was doing down there, but makes it work. Gets 2 down. But here is Aesthetic Bra and Crusade Judge trying to get the flag run. Crusader Judge staying alive. Aesthetic Bra keeping him alive. And barring some kind of miracle, that's going to be all she wrote. Flippers Down takes it 3-2 in the last few seconds.
Yeah, so I was wrong.
As we're loading in. Old Guys first on the board. I think it also just comes down to kind of how the map is arrayed. You have here on Live Fire like this long corridor, I guess would be the best way to describe it. From basically A to C plat. That even if you hit a slide, it takes a minute to actually cross fully. Crusade Judge, though, with Snipe at Keydor, trying to stop the camo from being grabbed, does not succeed, unfortunately for him. I wonder which one of the Old Guys players grabbed the camouflage. There we go.
Noctis.
We have on board with Noctis. Let's see what he can do with this. I wonder if he knows Crusader Judge is the one with the snipe, and I wonder if he can get behind them fast enough. Sometimes you're trying to make a sneaky play with the camo, and all of a sudden you get ruined because the other team happens to all slide halfway across the map. Or at least that's my experience. Maybe I'm just old and slow.
You're not old, you're experienced, okay? No, just...
Noctis in a no-scope there, and another no-scope as a body shot. Gets Crozen down to 1 shot. Crozen gets cleaned up. Jay Rizzle now with the snipe for Old Guys, working across the back of green, or back of B, whichever you like to call it. And this is not insurmountable, but Old Guys with the early lead, 11-5.
It seems like a lot of what happened in the first round, where Flippers Down was getting a little bit more flanks and everything, is being turned around on its head against Flippers Down. Because early part, we didn't get to see it exactly, but Ward was able to flank around and get the first kill. Or had someone flanking around to help him get the first kill of the game. And it's just been the momentum carrier for Old Guys since the beginning of this game. Now, of course, that can change in the matter of a second. 1 kill can determine a momentum shift. But, I mean, what we're seeing right now is potentially that, as the entire team of Old Guys... I'm so sorry, Old Guys. I just jinxed you.
Caster's Curse never fails.
Never does.
3R's Ward are going to look for... Oh, no, teammate cleaned him up. Flippers Down, throwing bodies at camo, but not able to get it. Frozen is still alive, though. The camo is actually still up. But Old Guys is soaring for it just the same. I'm amazed no one's even touched it, never mind actually put the camo to use. We still have a player from Old Guys playing around camo spawn. There's another one, and wow, Flippers down got away with it. Looks like they
No,
had to
Crusader
burn
Judge
it.
grabbed it and then it instantly died. So an excellent elimination from old guys. It felt kind of just like they were throwing bodies for the sake. We don't want them to be able to instantly kill it. Kill the carrier of the camo. We want to be able to get a few kills in. There's just like a back and forth. Both teams knew what they wanted, and they were willing to throw bodies and lives at them for it. So, but still, out of all the possible outcomes for old guys, the best possible one. 4 Flippers down, the worst time. Because you're down, you wasted about, 5 or 6 lives. And on top of that, you weren't even able to use the camo that you sacrificed all of those lives for.
I would say, again, if this is me as the fly on the wall, I would that hey, the camo's still up. We don't have to rush for it. They're clearly willing to throw bodies at it. Let's just bait it. We have no pressing desire to, or pressing need to get it right this very second. Lead has tightened though, 26-22, still in favor of old guys. Frozen with the snipe over at top tower. It looks like he's about to get pushed from dummies. He hasn't gone down yet, but you have to think old guys knows that top tower. Let's see if Frozen can stay alive though, and yes he does as he picks up the no scope on a player from old guys, picks up the triple kill. Looking for the overkill, but can't seem to find it. That's okay though. Does see warded and maybe perhaps another player over at back green, so backs down to stay alive. 27-29 now. Flippers down, trying to turn this around a little bit. And my hope is that they also don't try any sort of like long flanks with Flippers down. They've kind of turned this around and started playing together quite a bit more. And that, I think, was what was hurting them at the beginning of this game. As we hit the halfway mark at 30 kills. 31-30 now in favor of Flippers down as Crozen gets away with the camo. And he's popping off. 15 kills, only 4 deaths, leading the entire lobby.
Yeah. Also, with the camo as well, being able to jump up onto a ledge, I think it's called. I'm not up to date. Being able to use it pretty effectively, even though being taken down, your team is finally up ever so slightly. You want to be able to keep the momentum alive. You also just want to gain a good foothill. Normally, what I would say is about 35 kills. Oh, never mind. I was about to say something and then completely got silenced by it. Let's just have me be quiet for a second and not try to mess with one of these teams' lead.
What kind of happened there, I feel like, was Warted was able to come across top middle. He was shooting at a few people from C-Plat who, despite being next to each other, they did not either hear each other or communicate that, hey, we've got a player coming across top mid, possibly, let's keep an eye out for that so we can fight him together if he decides to continue his flank. And off that one flank, now we have old guys back in the lead again, 41-36. On board with Pogo now from Flippers down. Having a bit of a rougher game, but let's see if he can turn this around. Warded, though, says, I don't want you to turn around. I want to get a double kill with the snipe. But Crozen says, yeah, sorry, bud. Caster's curse.
Yeah, just like, yeah, no, we're going to stop the bleeding just ever so slightly. Only 6 more lives back. You have to play really disciplined gameplay, or really disciplined in how you play. And I just think old guys is going to hunker down and just say, all right, come to us, Flippers down. Like, we're going to win this. And also, Jay Rizzo's going to go on the lower end and probably get a little bit of a flank on Pogo. Going to take a few shots at him at scoreboard. Just push him back. Now it's only 3 left, and they have to get 11. Like, Flippers down has to get 11 kills. That is going to be ever more difficult as the time ticks down. It is possible, though. I've seen it, but I don't. If Ward's not going to allow it, it says if he has any say to it. As Pogo finally goes down, and where the series is tied up 1-1, and I will.
All right, on board with Pogo of Flippers down, pushing into. I'm sorry, this is not Pogo. I am losing my mind here. We are on board with Remix from Old Guys, and he says, "Well, just for messing up my name here, I'm going to push out towards Top Cat and pick up the assist on Aesthetic Broad. Lock down Crozen over at Top Gold. I'm going to do some good work here, and now we have AC control for Old Guys. They're the first ones on the board. I would say
most likely gonna, yeah, because you have Crusader moving in. Just because the spawns, I'd say one of the only times I think spawns have ever been particularly good in this game, or like when you're playing on strongholds, because it's just making no one can easily stomp on all 3 points because you're just spawning on the other side. Making a little bit more variety. However, we do have Crusader Judge, unfortunately dying off map, but starting to chip in to the, trying to stop the lead of Old Guys at the moment.
the key here now, if your Flipper's down, is you kind of need B. You need to get B and Gold under your control. Then you can flip A once you have B back under control. But you have to get a push together. You got to make sure to get at least 2 guns on target on Old Guys before you make a push towards B or even towards A. Just because right now you're trying to get into Gold, you're having to cross across an open part of the map, and you can just have people on Old Guys just light you up for free, essentially. Somehow they're able to get into Gold and get in there with enough shields to be able to actually pick up some kills here. Warded going down at B, but this camouflage play, I get why he went for it, but I don't know. I'm losing my voice here a little bit.
Take some more of your drink. Come on, drink some more. Drink some more. Let's go.
Need some more beer here. But
yeah, exactly. Don't worry, we're both over the age 21. So
well
perfectly
over
legal.
the age 21. Well over. But
yeah.
As we get into the triple cap here for the moment, out of Old Guys. Here's the issue with Flippers down. They had the makings of a good push through Gold into Whirlpool. The issue that I have is they didn't move fast enough. They got a couple of kills from people pushing into Gold Pipes, which is fantastic, as it looks like Flippers down is going to get on the board now, capturing A and C. But they took too long to push towards B, or they would have even been fine pushing towards A. They took a little bit too long, and the result of it was a failed push. They weren't able to get B, they weren't able to get camo, and they had to soar out of position to even try to contest that camo. Meanwhile now, Old Guys, pretty solid lead here, 125 to 28 and counting. Flippers down going for a triple cap, trying to eke as much time as they possibly can out of this.
If you're in their position, you certainly have to. I mean, you're down almost 100 plus right now, or about 80, so you got to start chipping at the score. You don't want it to go down to like a much more difficult reality. But all of Flippers down, pinned in A, and here come Old Guys starting to just rush in, and all it is Curzon versus at least Jay Rizzle for now. It finally would take out one, but the triple cap for Old Guys re-obtained.
I would say the triple cap is nice for the few seconds that you can have it, but my issue with it on this map is you have essentially 3 distinct zones. And I don't just mean that because it's strongholds. You have 3 distinct zones, essentially, where the other team will spawn. You have Elevator, which is where A is. You have Hydro, where C plat is, or C cap is, and then you have Gold. Ideal, you want to hold Gold no matter what, and then you want to hold either A or C, whichever one you prefer is easier for you and your team. The reason why the triple cap is not so great is the map is just big enough to where your team cannot easily block all of these spawns effectively. You will have somebody, if you're trying to do a triple cap, unless you're like got them on a perfect rotation, constantly spawning in like 1s and 2s, you're able to keep slaying them out effectively. you will have people spawn behind you. And it will be, Murphy's Law. It will be at the worst possible time, at the worst possible place. You will have a bad time. You will not be able to pass go and collect $200. Frozen, unfortunately, gets Caster's Curse right there. That sucks. The end result will be essentially what we're seeing right now, where Flippers Down had control of A and C temporarily, but they did not get control of Gold and B. Therefore, now they are on the back foot once again. And now we have a triple cap once more for old guys who have been just kind of commanding this whole match here. I mean, they're just ticking away, and I feel like Flippers Down has not prosecuted these points enough. It kind of feels like, oh yeah, we'll get to it eventually. It's like eventually needs to be like now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think one of the biggest problems for Flippers Down has been old guys just never let them really regroup. Like, they've been constantly just on their case the entire match. Constantly throwing someone at A to just, like, disrupt whatever Flippers Down was trying to plan. And it's just been a lot of, like, catch-up. And they'll throw one or two people because they feel confident that enough time will take place that, that the person that they're sacrificing from old guys or getting a kill or two is going to make them stop and think about what they're going to be doing next. But Flippers Down, not out just yet. 247 to 68. It is going to be really tough to come back from this, but not impossible.
Definitely not impossible, but man, you have your work cut out for you. And now they have this AB setup, which is great. The question is, can they hold it? Static Bra picking up the kill there with the shock rifle and his bandit. We have Remix, though, at the bottom of Gold Stairs. We have a couple more players from Old Guys who are spawning over around C. If I'm Old Guys, I was going to say, hey, we have lots of time to work with here. Let's just push together, get a couple of kills, get them a couple down, and then we can flood B and just throw bodies at the problem. And sure enough, that is exactly what they did. The fly on the wall has moved over to Old Guys' side of the camp. They go up in the series now 2-1.
Take it as like, hopefully you can this next game and the necessity, to win this game to get into a game 5 pushes, even harder play from you. That's what I was trying to say.
And as we load into our game number 4, 3 down temporarily for Old Guys. Pogo now on the stream. No kills, but also no deaths as of yet. Back on board now with Jay Rizzle, who stayed back in Old Guys' base. He picked up a kill using the battle rifle. But let's see now a little bit what he can do at his util bridge. Gets an assist, makes Pink 2 absolute. Crusade Judge, stay alive top middle. I would not have poked right there. He goes down. 3 dead, 4 Flippers down. About to be 4 down as Noctis with the overkill. And he, yes, challenges for the Killtacular. Thank you for that. Even if you know you're not going to get it. At that point, why not?
Yeah, just go for it. Unless it's like going to be absolutely detrimental to your team. It wasn't. You were pushing them down. You were isolating them. So just go for it. Try to get the ego kill.
No fear in the dojo, as Gilkey would say. Him from Halo 3, maybe.
I'm not that old in the Halo sphere, so unfortunately not. But I know someone in the chat's gonna like that a lot. I'm just a young Gen Z guy here.
But here we are though with Remix. Flippers Down has the bomb right now. If we could maybe hop on for the bomb player, I kind of want to see what they would do. And who is the bomb player right now? It's Pogo. And Pogo picks up a kill. He's 1-1-1. I guess the fly on the wall moved to his room because he's making out pretty well, moving that bomb. Unfortunately goes down, but he was making the right play there. Just ran into too many players from Old Guys. And now we have Old Guys. We're able to parlay that into moving the bomb into Flippers Down's base. I don't think they're going to get an arm here. Jay Rizzle is the last alive for a moment. But he's just going to be a total nuisance, get people as weak as he can before he goes down. Pogo now back on board with the bomb. The thing that I would say I want him to do here is keep pushing that bomb in through util side. I would not go for the sneak arm. I would definitely, in this instance, drop the bomb. Fight, pick up 1 kill, another one goes down to a nade. I like the fact that he took that fight. How many people, I would say in matchmaking, they would definitely have tried for the sneak arm to just sit there and watch you die.
Certainly, I mean that's just what makes solo comp and playing with a full team does, the difference. Hence why all of the professionals play on a team that they constantly, practice with. They don't just randomly jump into, they're not like, all right, Charlotte, all right, we're grabbing 3 people from the stands, let's go. Certainly, I gotta say, Pogo, I'm really liking what you're doing. You're doing what you're not like going out trying to get a bunch of kills. You're working with your team, trying to coordinate on your team, to get the kills and everything, and it's starting to show because you got the bomb pretty far in to old guys' base. Just unfortunate series of events where they just started getting to you and just started throwing grenades to take you out.
If I'm again going to be the fly on the wall, which seems to be my favorite pastime this match at least. If I'm flippers down, I've got the bomb. I kind of want to move that more carbine side, or I guess you call it utility side. I'm showing my age once again. I call a lot of things by Halo 2 callouts, but take it more carbine side. There's a lot more cover to work with. There's a lot more. It's just a little easier to get it in there. The pink side of the map on Aquarius is not nearly as strong as it was in Halo 2 or Halo 3 on Midship or Heretic, if you remember it better like that. Pink side on Aquarius, not nearly as strong, I would say, as util side. It's still good to have somebody P2 laying down shots on people in the enemy base, but that bomb is better served going utility side, carbine side, whatever you like to call it. It gets into the base a little bit faster. You have a little more options as far as how to get it in there. That is just my opinion, though. The more important thing I would say for neutral bomb is that you're doing whatever strategy you're doing with your team together. You gotta be pressuring the enemy base together. You gotta be coordinating that bomb going in there. You can't just willy-nilly throw it in. That will just give the other team the bomb, and they can very quickly put it into your base, and you have a really bad time. Something about explosives, in your home, it's not really a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just gotta say, for old guys, they've been on the defense for a good long while. They've not been able to do too much. Let's see, who has the bomb? I don't. Okay, a little bit of analysis from a guy who generally doesn't know about this mode. I don't like the fact I can't see who has the ball. Like, as an observer, that is just so weird to me. Like, every other, you run the ball around, you have a ball or a flag. You can see who the flag holder is, but not with the bomb. It's very weird as an observer, at least. So, there's my little rant over as a bomb finally resets. Now it's just another slay again, I guess.
The thing here with either of these teams, the easier way to get that bomb into the enemy base is, oh wow, actually, speaking of bomb in the enemy base, here is, not sure who had it, but Rosen finishing the bomb arm. I'm not sure who had started that, but they were able to sneak into old guys' base. I guess they managed to get the sneak arm after all. The long shot play worked out. Flippers down is up 1-0, and there's been a not insignificant passage of time. All dead now for old guys as well. 5 minutes 15 on the clock. It's not that old guys can't come back, of course. It is just that it takes a lot with Infinite and how you need to do with bomb. Yes, old guys has gotten everybody down on flippers down, but the bomb is in their base. They gotta start over and get it on over to flippers down base as fast as they possibly can. And I will say this too, flippers down overall, they are outslaying old guys. That is definitely going to help them. Not, of course, the end-all be-all, but they are slaying more and they're shooting together a little bit more. Their assists are a lot more even than it has been in previous games. Let's see, though, if they can keep it going, because Old Guys gets them all down once again, and Noctis, flying the wall strat, listening it to me about the coordinated push, and that was pretty much textbook how you want to do it for neutral bomb. Slay out the R team, get them all dead, get that bomb in there as fast as possible, and block one side or the other so that you know where they're spawning and you can arm in peace.
Yeah, you gotta be able to push the enemy team away a little bit further, be able to get that particular, I guess, spacing, so that they're not just right on you as you're trying to load it. And of course, Crozen with the double whammy of not only having camo, but also the bomb, but Warded was able to find it pretty easily, has a very keen eye. Or I'm just blind whenever I play. That could also be an equally valid idea, because I would never have been able to see it. But
well, the issue with the bomb is it does have a little bit of a particle effect around it.
Oh, yeah.
You can't always see it with the camo, but if you're looking at it just right, you can, and that's, I think, what Ward had picked up on. I would say Crozen would have had a lot more utility just slaying instead of trying to move the bomb with the camo. It wasn't really a position where he specifically had to move bomb. There's still time on the clock. It's tied 1-1. It's not as if it's had to be moved now to get the victory. I don't know. That, like I said, is just my opinion and what I would have done if I were in his shoes. Is I would have gone and slayed.
Well, I don't know. That was a weird stop of movement. I guess, controller stopped working or something like that, because he just stopped moving, period. But it does seem like all players still in, all players still moving in to fight. Tossed in a few grenades from Remix. I am so sorry. I was calling you Remy the entire series.
It's all good. The beer is kicking in just a little bit.
True.
I think.
The beer is actually a boost to my speaking abilities. So without it, I would have been absolutely stumbling around. So I just gotta get a little bit in the system. Maybe that's what the HCS pro people do. They have a little bit of one drink as we start seeing Crozen moving in, getting shot at, almost absolute, and Remix coming in with the nice, nice hit, getting the bomb out. Now I want to see which team decides to start pushing the initiative, trying to get a few kills and just rushing the bomb in. Because it is dangerously close in the Old Guys territory, and you start seeing the momentum starting to push in, especially with Crusader Knight moving through util.
Especially on doing me, Crusader. Oh, he does not get the touch on the bomb. I kind of wanted to say, hey, let me get a touch on that bomb, reset that timer, keep it over on Old Guys' side of the map. Doesn't make it though, sorry to say, but that is what it is. If you are watching a neutral bomb game for the first time somehow, I don't know, could be somebody here. One thing to bear in mind with Sundown overtime for neutral bomb, it does not reset the map. It just adds an extra 3 minutes to the clock right off the rip, right as soon as we hit 0-0 and the score is tied. It will not reset the map like it does for Capture the Flag. On board with Noctis, though, we are under a minute. Both teams furiously trying to move the bomb to one side or the other. Noctis doing his best to stay alive, does not succeed. Jay Rizzle goes down as well. Aesthetic Bra, the last one alive, but bomb is still currently sitting still in Flippers Down port. Doesn't look like anybody from... Oh, I spoke too soon. Here comes Noctis, moving the bomb over into Flippers Down's base. There's 20 seconds on the clock, and Noctis is just being an utter menace here, doing tons of damage before going down, and now his team's able to rush in and clean up people that he had made weak.
And I guess if you think about it, if you're going in for the tie, and you know for a fact that the map doesn't get reset, if you're Old Guys, you don't even want to score by this point. Like, yeah, you just want to like get as close as possible, so you have that 3 extra minute of buffer. It does seem like that was the case. That is an odd thing, personally. I mean, I think y'all should flame me in like the chat because like I'm just like, oh, this is so different than the game I used to play a year ago. But like, you know, you gotta be able to get new game modes and everything in there. So, but still, fantastic from both teams. You know, we already have a 30 bomb in here. Crozen with a 30 bomb already, getting 31
31
kills.
bomb now.
Yeah, 31 bomb.
And almost 32 as Noctis stays alive at pink 1, but hopefully he's getting called out for flippers down. I'm just also going to shout out Crozen just overall 32 kills at this point. The next closest person is his teammate Crusade Judge. The closest persons on Old Guys are Remix and Warded. But it is also concerning that Flippers Down is playing out this well, but they're not able to move that bomb into base. As I say that though, Crusader Judge able to get in there, got it about halfway, but I don't think he's able to make it. But hey, there we go. We're going to a game 5 here as I believe that was, yeah, Crozen who manages to get the second bomb arm in. Flippers Down taking it to getting in a one-on-one and being cleaned up almost immediately after. I want to see you put a couple shots, fade away, communicate to your team where they're at, not just giving up a free death because you're being overly confident with that camouflage. Flippers Down, up 3-0. They want that opening camo, and they're trying to find the players from Old Guys that are spawning out. Jay Rizzle on his own in PD, Aesthetic Bra trying to hunt him down. The Shroud Screen going down at the back of A for reasons that I'm not quite sure why. Camo's up now, and Flippers Down all of a sudden is kind of on the back foot. They are maintaining the lead at 6-3. They do manage to kill the camouflage.
Yeah, they were able to get the kill on Warden.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious what kind of happened with that Shroud, but hey, Flippers Down still managing to maintain control, 8-3. You got a 5-kill lead. I kind of want to see them keep up like this. You know, they're moving together pretty well, but just as I say that, they go 3 down, and all of a sudden it looks like they're on the back foot. I'm kind of curious the sequence of events there.
I think it was a little bit of a desperation move. You know, throw the Shroud, try to, you know, stay alive in PD, and not being able to really do too much. But, you know, Warded with the desperation heave to grab the camo and go through tires. Just not working too well. If only Jay Rizzle had a grenade there. Being able to toss one into a group of 3 didn't work out. Gonna try to kill Crusader Judge. Gets the kill on him. And he just like, I'm just sitting there like, oh, if you only had a grenade, it would have been fantastic. It would have been probably a double kill and popping the shields of another. Because they had some pretty down players right there.
Yeah, they did. Flippers down 2 right now. Camo is up, and it looks like we have a player from Old Guys trying to get to it. Looks like they were able to successfully get the camo, and yep, there it is, Warded as he's being hunted down. Stays alive though. Flippers Down still in the lead, but it's only by 2. Warded is still living with this camouflage. 15-14 now. 16-14 now. Finally, Warded going down with that camouflage. He was being an absolute menace with that. Now, it's only a 2-kill lead, and Flippers Down is kind of trapped here in A as they trade out kills. 17-16, 17-17 as it ties up. This is like the second or third time in the past like minute, I feel like, that Flippers Down has ended up trapped in A. I don't think that this is the I don't think it's where they really want to be. I think they really rather be over by A and over by B side as well. I'm sorry, I call it Subway A, actually C. So that is my bad. But all the same here though. They can't keep getting trapped in any. You don't really want to get trapped in any place here. You kind of want to do that to the other team. Crusader Judge picking up a double kill. Crozen trading out. Crusader going down. Caster's Curse coming in strong as always. 22-22. This has been just back and forth constantly.
I think the next big thing will be to determine which team is able to break out of this just back and forth slog. Which one's going to be able to get the, a team wipe? Which one's going to be able to get an overkill? Which one is going to make the mistake first? As it seems like Flipper's down, rushing in, taking down 3, and it is Pogo versus the world, and Pogo goes down. And, it doesn't mean that much, because Noctis does... Oh, no, Boarded has the camo, but still, that was just that one mistake, and that can permeate the middle path of this game.
It certainly can. This lead is not insurmountable, of course. 4 kills, 28-24 in favor of Old Guys. But kind of the thing you gotta watch out for, and I love what Boarded just did with the camo right there, to play it that patiently. The thing you gotta watch out for on streets sometimes is you might end up where you're on opposite sides of the map. You and your teammate might be over at B, and you might have another 2 who are down over by Shotgun on Purple Street. And the problem with streets is you can essentially look at the map as kind of these 3 long sight lines, these 3 long lanes. You have top A to top C, and all of bottom middle you have driveway over to Caution. You have C stairs on into Cafe and Purple Street, and to a lesser extent back A. The problem is, what if your team is split up 2 and 2 on either side here, and you have the enemy team pushing you hard from, say, inside of C or through PD? That sucks, because then you, on whatever side of the map is opposite to that, you got to go way out of position to even try and help your team. You don't have many angles to shoot across map. It just makes things that much harder. Makes it that much harder to help out your team and pick up any kind of kills. And that is what I keep seeing here with Flippers down. I keep seeing them like 2 and 2 on opposite sides of the map. They're not really in positions anymore to help each other. And that's a big, big problem, because we're now hitting 30 to 37. 37 for Old Guys, and 38 there as Remix picks up a nice beatdown kill there. This is getting kind of nail-bitingly close to the end where Flipper's down. They cannot afford to give up pretty much any more deaths. They want to try and minimize that as much as possible. And they kind of need to evaluate where they're at a little bit better as well, as far as helping out their team, because keep seeing them just in these positions where they're not able to help each other. And what that's resulting in is this lead that was initially just 3-4 kills has now grown to a 12 kill lead.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, just, the division, struggling with divisions of the team. No, Jay Rizzo, no, you gotta go for the kill. You can't just abandon him while he's in PD like that. But, just being a little bit too divided and just not really having any positioning to, push in, and just 4 kills remaining for Old Guys to take this series. Yet again, another 3-2 series for Old Guys. Gotta take it to game 5. Gotta show up their Slayer ability. And, it's gonna be a tough fight for Flippers down. They gotta, make sure Old Guys makes enough mistakes they can get back fully into this game, as 2 of them rushing in, all of them actually rushing into tires at the moment. First kill goes to Remy, and 3 remaining.
Remix here at Arcade. Looks like he's trying to push over to PD with another one of his teammates. Crusader Judge gets hunted down, and that's all she wrote. Another 3-2 victory for Old Guys. They take this series. They take